Hello, today, it's just simple Celeste. This is going to be the first of many episodes of basically a tutorial. Currently, I'm learning to speedrun the game. My best time is somewhere around 49 minutes. So this is going to be my tutorial guide, I suppose, on how to get sub 50, my apologies. Each episode I will cover a different chapter and teach you all the tricks and tips I know to get sub 50. Epilogue, I will go over that real quick. There's not much. Jump and basically just jump as many times as possible. Don't hold jump. That's really all there is to it. City, that's where things get interesting. I'll go through each room in as much detail as I can. So what I do is I start off with a super, dash up here, super, and dash up. I dash to the left, dash through here, and what you want to do is you want to get a wall bounce up here, wall bounce here. I do a wave dash there, jump up. That part's a little difficult. You wanna do a wall bounce off here, and before you run into these spikes, you want to do another wall bounce right here, and it saves a little bit of time, but it is a little difficult. I always mess up here, so I wait till the block to stop moving, and then I go up. Super easy tech here. You just do another wall bounce here, and make your way right through that. Right here. I do a little super there, and I just do more wall bounces. Wall bounces are your best friend in this chapter. They are very important. They climb walls very quickly. As you can see, you can get up basically the entire room with some well-placed wall bounces. Here, this is not a terribly long room, but doing this whole thing like this is quite slow. So, I prefer to do something that looks more like this. Sorry, it's a little difficult. So all that's happening there is I'm doing a hyper. So you want to crouch dash and jump, but I'm also using coyote frames to jump off the air. So for example, I'll do it here, where you can see I just okay, that wasn't a good. You jump off the air, and you keep your speed, and that's how you're able to make it to this ledge. If you can, you want to do a corner boost and get a bunch of speed, otherwise you just jump over it. In the end, this room ends up looking like this. Pretty simple, but it is difficult to time properly. This is a room you might want to practice for a while, despite it being pretty simple. Also, a corner boost. I found it that I can somewhat confidently get them if you dash at a corner, dash diagonally into a corner, and, well, that's not a good example, sorry. And you jump at the very top of the block, that's the goal. And you get a big boost speed, just like that. It's very simple. But it can be difficult to time. I suggest you practice that. If you can get those down, it'll make your runs a lot faster. It's something I'm still working on though. So you get through this room. There you go. That's what it looks like corner boosting. Not much different, just a little faster. Simple wall bounce, do a hyper there, super there, jump over. just climb up. You can do a corner boost there, makes it a little faster. There's really not much to go through here. Just dash. You can do a corner boost there, though I'm not exactly sure how much time it saves. If you do a max height climb jump right here, though, with corner boosting, you can get a corner boost right there. It'll bring you right up. If you can get it just right, you can get up onto this ledge without having to jump again, and it can save some time. Now, it is, again, difficult to do, but with practice, you can still get it confidently. I cannot get it confidently just yet. Just dash up here, jump up here. You want to do a super and quickly jump up afterwards. This room's pretty simple. Just a simple super. You want to hold jump the entire time though, so you get enough height to just bounce off that block, do another wall bounce, and then another wall bounce. For a long time, this room, I was just doing this, which was inconsistent and difficult. And then I learned to do this, which is much more consistent, but still pretty slow. But the easiest way is you either want to get an extended hyper or a wave dash, and you can just dash up there, and that's the room. It's that simple. With the wave dash, it looks like not that, but that, again, very similar. Do be careful, that block sometimes blocks you, and it can be very annoying. If you can try and get a wave bounce up, a little corner boost off that. But that is quite difficult, and it doesn't really save you a whole lot of time, so feel free to leave that one out. And sometimes you get stuck under that. It's a whole problem. If you fail the corner boost, you should be able to just hop up on that and dash happily to the next section. My apologies. This room, for this room, try and do a hyper in, because then you can just swing past there. Makes it very easy, simple, and fast. Quick hyper. Another quick hyper there. Say, for that room specifically, you want to dash up through against this wall. So, as you're going through the transition, dash before going through the transition, or you'll hop up on here before you get a chance to wall bounce. This is important. So wall bounce up here and quickly grab onto that, where you just hop up here, do hypers. At room, I hyper into, so I get up here. Two quick hypers specifically. And you jump that, pretty simple. This room has another extended hyper, no, just hyper I suppose. It has another hyper off of midair. So you want to do a wall bounce up there. You want to do another hyper off midair. So again, using the coyote frames like in the other room, that is very difficult. This one's much easier. You just dash, jump, hold, and this is important, make sure to hold the jump, otherwise you will not make it. Quite simple. Again, there's not much to show in this chapter. You should just hit that, be able to get up here. Wall bounces to get through rooms quickly. This room will take some practice. It can be inconsistent and a little difficult. But when done properly, it is very fast. You want to use this spring to bounce up. Don't grab on. I'm just grabbing on for sake of simplicity. You want to do an up dash here and get a wall bounce. But you don't, if you dash too high and jump too late, you'll just hit the bottom of that platform. If you time it just right though, you should be able to get up there. Do a hyper from here. You can either do just a little hop here, or you can do another hyper, but I find that a little more inconsistent. This room's the next important room. You might know this room for double spike skip. But for our purposes, we don't have to do that. If you want to do it, there's two ways you can do this room. You simply do a wave dash off here, grab here, jump over here, time it just right, and you get a jump off that little ledge. You do have to be very careful though, as that ledge is quite small. You don't want to grab onto it or you'll slip down into the spikes. If you haven't already, you'll want to go into your controls. One thing you'll definitely want is a crouch dash. This is important. It lets you do hypers much more conveniently and quickly. Very convenient. Something you'll also want is 2 jump buttons. If you look, let me find it. I have 3 jump buttons configured. I don't use X, it just happens to be there. I have B and Z are for jump. Get ready with at least one of your jumps. Jump as soon as you can. So with the wave dash, just looks like that. Very simple strategy. As for the extended hyper, you're going to want to jump here. It is more difficult to time, I'll warn you. Jump here, and you want to just do a normal crouch dash there. You should be able to just jump, you get the extended hyper, and you do the same thing. The only difference is the start. I find the wave dash to be easier, but it is a little slower, so be warned. Something I want to emphasize right here. You land here, you need to do a quick hyper and hold jump. If you don't, if you just normal hyper, you'll land right here. And if you hyper here, you still won't get high enough. But if you do a max height hyper here, you'll land on the spring and can finish the room quite quickly. And with that being the last room, if you want to, you can do a little corner kick, little corner boost there. And that's it. I'll show you a run. I'll go through things real quick. This won't be a full speed run, but this is just so you kind of see what the route will look like. Make sure to memorize all the rooms. You don't want to go through the wrong transition. Again, if there is ways to do this room, I like to keep it safe here. If you want, you can get like there, do that. That's pretty easy. Here, you hyper here. Sorry, normal super, quick super, I guess. And then wall bounce. Simple. A little different than how I explained before. If you don't know how to do neutral jumps, that would be helpful to start to learn, because they save some time in many places and can help you with, if you mess up a trick, they can get you out of some pickles. Again, you want to super from this room, because if you hyper here, you'll immediately hit the wall. Hyper there, so you slip past the wall and don't lose all your speed. And that's what that trick looks like. Pretty simple. You get an extra dash, makes it much faster. You can get an extended hyper there, but it really does not matter. And that's the entirety of that. And here's what the proper run looks like. I won't commentate here, you can just watch. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, if you undershoot it, you'll fall just short. Again, that's using just some normal mechanics. It shouldn't be too hard. I'd say the hardest part is the room where you is the first room where you have to do complete hyper off air. Pretty simple chapter overall. I suggest you practice each room, and don't take all of my advice as I am not perfect, I am still practicing. Like over here, for example, it might be better to use an extended super or extended hyper instead of a wave dash. Could make life easier, does not really matter. Play around with it. This is just my routes. Make your own, okay, go through the same rooms, but make your own techniques for getting through rooms. This is just what I found that works. And if the technique's too hard, don't feel bad. Some techniques take time to get used to. It's alright. All it takes is practice. You may die hundreds of times, but it does not matter. Also, if it makes you feel any better, City is like the least important run. My best time is somewhere around a minute 35 or so in City. But don't be stressed, City basically does not matter in the run. If you mess it up, don't reset just because of City. If you want to reset, wait till... You want to at least wait until Chapter 3. That's one of the run killing chapters, levels, it's difficult. You will not be blamed if you reset or mess up there. It is considered a run killer. Now, I will go through the run one more time, hopefully without mistakes, and there's not much else to say. The run speaks for itself from here on out, and then that'll be the end. Last time I'll mention it, this chapter does not matter. In my opinion, anywhere from 130 to like 150, even 155. As long as you're within that range, I'd say you're probably fine. Though it does start to get worrying if you get to like 2 minutes. Then that becomes somewhat of a problem. In my next video, I'll go over the old site. It shouldn't be terrible, but it is longer and it has some more important strats that I will need to go over. Either way, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and, well, happy speedrunning. And again, one last time, I cannot stress this enough, have fun with it. Make the run your own run. Just because I got sub 50 with it does not mean this is the only way to get sub 50. Mess with the run. Do what you feel comfortable with. Either way, have a great one. See you next time.